In today's video, we're going to be having a conversation about some of the recent price changes for Pokemon single packs and how they're starting to absolutely skyrocket, kind of doing a little bit of a deep dive as to why this is happening. But before we jump into it, as always, we do weekly giveaways. All you have to do to enter is leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We post pre-recorded content for you so each and every week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. As always, since you can comment and like in each video, that allows you for multiple entries. So you've got multiple opportunities to both enter and win. And lastly, you want to be a part of the community anyway, or follow us on any of our socials. Links are down in the description below, as I highly recommend you join our Discord, as that is where we give the most up-to-date information on all things going on with PokemartUSA. So for today's video, I really wanted to have a conversation where we deep dived and looked at the prices for Pokemon packs recently, because I don't know if you guys are that active when it comes to TCG Player, but one of the things I've noticed most recently is, I don't know if it's because of an update change, regardless if it is because of that or not, but booster packs have become most prominent when filtering through best selling on their website. I, on my phone, have not made an update for any of their newest, user interface software updates that they've had, and I've seen the same exact thing happen when filtering through best selling. And so I said to myself, wow, is booster packs, there's something going on that I don't know? And so I went in and I took a look at some of the price changes that have been happening most recently, and I felt like it was worth having a discussion about, because for the longest time, I've had people ask me questions. I want to say back in the day of end of 2021, where we didn't know if Pokemon reprints were going to be coming or not, right before we got the big dump. People ask the question, Eli, do you think it's worth picking up singles? Or when Cosmic Eclipse product was popping up with singles being in the Arceus V figure collections and some other items, Eli, is it worth picking up these singles? And so we're going to break down a couple of the packs, and we're going to compare them each side by side to their booster box counterparts and ask ourselves, what's really going on here? And is it really worth our interest taking a look at this and seeing what the general return value would be if we had actually invested in the packs compared to investing in the booster boxes over time? So first one we're going to be taking a look at is the Silver Tempest booster pack. So if you guys are wanting to follow the price for the pack since basically around January, if you had gone in at the most low in the past 3 months, or if you want to actually go take a look at the low going back to November when the first set released, obviously price for the booster boxes at the time on the website for TCG Player, it was $100, and $294 is the current price point when you had the initial set release for Silver Tempest. Doing the math, you're saying to yourself, $100 divided by 36. Obviously, it's a no-brainer. You're going to be making more money if you had gotten the booster box compared to the individual pack price. However, when looking at the performance for the past 3 months, it seems as if there's been a shift change. At the overall low point of $3.09 back in the middle of January up until now, we see that the price per pack is at $3.96 at the absolute cheapest, which for you guys might not think that that's crazy, but if you consider the fact of the matter that we take a comparison going to the middle of January, right, at that $3.09 point, and we go back and we look at the Silver Tempest booster box, and we say around that same time frame, the booster box in and of itself from 127 up until now 134 has gone up roughly around $7 in the past month and a half. That's not crazy. I mean, if you actually consider from the overall high, which was back in the middle of February, to now, it's actually gone down in price. So if you had gone back in the middle of January and you had picked it up until now, you'd be, congratulations, up a whopping $7, which if we put that into a percentage point, let's take the 127 divided by 134. We can see that that's roughly around a 5.3% return. So, I mean, after shipping and fees, you're obviously going to be losing money. Versus if we were to take it from the absolute low from Silver Tempest, when the prices per pack were going for around that $3.09, and you're now saying that it is worth $3.96, you can now see that the price per pack value has gone up roughly around 22%. That is a massive price change when looking at Silver Tempest. And so in terms of the question being asked right now when, making this video, is there ever an opportunity when investing in packs versus booster boxes? Well, as this chart is showing us, the answer is yes. And even if you say to yourself, okay, Eli, it feels like you're cherry picking. Let's not look at the 3-month low, right? Because the set, obviously came out in November. If you would have been able to pick up the booster boxes, it would have made more sense to do that. Well, let's take the average of around that $3.25, we'll say, sometime back in December, if you had invested during that time, right? Well, even if you compare it to that point, $3.25 compared to the $3.96 that we're looking at now, that's still roughly an 18% increase. Silver Tempest packs are going absolutely crazy, which is the weirdest thing to see, because with looking at Silver Tempest prices and comparing to Brilliant Star, which a lot of people argue is the second or third best set in the Sword and Shield era, the prices for the packs are $3.63. So it is actually more expensive right now for you to pick up Silver Tempest. Wild, 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 absolutely wild to see. Now let's take a look at another pack that has seen a lot of volatility in the most recent time. It is Astral Radiance, the Astral Radiance booster pack at its low point most recently, going back to, once again, that kind of January, a little bit on the back end of January, however, at the $2.72 price point. Where is it at right now? Obviously at its peak, it hit $3.60 about a week and a half ago, versus right now it's still sitting at $3.44. That's kind of crazy. That's gone up almost a full dollar in the past month and a half. Taking a look at Astral Radiance and the booster boxes, going to the back end of January, trying to compare the charts. Back end of January, the value of the booster box itself was roughly around $115 and has now gone up an additional $15 since then, at roughly around $130, just to make it easy. So you made $15. Obviously, from a marginal percentage perspective, it's about roughly a 12%. So not too crazy, right? But if you go the same time frame and you say $2.72 up until now, I mean, you already know where I'm going with this, but divided by, we'll say, the current price, not the price high, you're looking at roughly a 21% increase. So you're still making more when breaking down the single packs. Once again, people say, all right, Eli, I think you're cherry picking once again. Okay, let's not use that $2.72 price point. Let's use the recent average, which was around $3 going back into December when comparing the overall prices. We say $3 and we divide that by, once again, 3.45. You're going to be at roughly around a 13% increase. So even at the general swing high in the past couple of months, it is still going to be a greater, if not, the same, if not greater percentage yield return if you had decided to invest in these single packs. And what's even more interesting to see about this is people might say, well, yeah, Eli, it's more expensive to ship single packs because you're going to have to, put in more work by shipping each individual single pack. Although obviously from an argument perspective, saying there's going to be more work, I agree. You're getting, if one person just buys one pack or two packs, obviously you have that kind of free shipping point where you're going to, from a general marginal perspective, actually end up making more money than if you were to try and sell the packs sealed as a booster box itself, which is wild to think about, because you might be saying to yourself, okay, well, it makes more sense from a shipping perspective. Why would I ever want to sell individual packs for cheap? Obviously, there is a dead zone when shipping single packs. Like if you're selling 4 or 5, it's not really worth your time, right? But if you're saying to yourself, hey, I'm going to ship out 10 packs or maybe even say 15 packs, right? And it's going to be under £1, you're going to be able to ship with USPS first class mail since it's under a pound. So in some instances, it's even cheaper to sell. Obviously, like I said before, there's certain weights there that it's not going to be the most, affordable, but I kind of digress with the point that ultimately I'm looking at when taking the general shipping and prices into consideration. Now, if we go back a little bit farther, let's not just look at the most recent ones. Obviously, we could do Lost Origin, but let's not look at Lost Origin. It's going to show around a similar pattern from we've seen with the other two. Let's take a look at a set such as Chilling Reign, for example. What has Chilling Reign done both as a booster box and as a overall pack? Well, the price, obviously, going back to December, has gone from $106 all the way up to $145 roughly. That's absolutely crazy. Looking at it around the same time, if we say shortly after where it hit its low, $3.22, now all the way up to $4.23. That's a full dollar increase. Let's do some math and see what the price per pack is going to be different from the general percentage yield. That's going to be around 24% return. If you were to say from 106 to 145, I'm going to say 106 divided by 145, you're going to get a 27% return. Well, would you look at that? It's one of the few instances that I've shown so far where the booster box has actually outpaced it. And the most interesting point of note, and this is one of the points I'm going to make when showing this to you guys, is we're in a very unprecedented time right now. As you guys are aware, Chilling Reign was a set that when it got its initial second wave, which was delayed, it came out during the time of when we had reprints or resupplies for Evolving Skies, Fusion Strike, Darkness Ablaze, Vivid Voltage, and so there was a ton of booster boxes that all got resupplies, reprints around the same time, and so prices were drastically cheaper versus when talking about sets such as, Astral Radiance, Lost Origin, and also Silver Tempest. These were all sets that came out, but they came out around the time where there wasn't really a ton of product out. Astral Radiance, obviously, whether you want to say it's the worst set out of the three, or whether you want to say that it came out during a time where there was more product available up until, the point of where we are today with Lost Origin and Silver Tempest, being that by the time Silver Tempest came out, product was continuously thinning, and Astral Radiance being the oldest of the three, it was more of a victim of circumstances considering that it came out while around other product being readily available and cheaper, because Astral Radiance, whether you like the set or not, Chilling Reign was arguably a better set, and some people were choosing Chilling Reign over picking up Astral because it was cheaper. But now that Chilling Reign has become more expensive, there's some people that are picking up Astral because they're just wanting to be able to open up booster packs for cheap, regardless of whether it's a worse set or not, because it's just fun to open packs, regardless of how much more how much lesser of a set you're going to enjoy it compared to it, because it's still fun to open and pull alternate arts and character rares. So, point being kind of made with that is you didn't have that problem during the Fusion Strike Chilling Reign, and so you saw a kind of progression point of increase over time, and you saw that on average booster boxes were more expensive, or pack prices were more expensive than booster boxes if you were to break it down into 36 counts, versus nowadays it seems as if it's almost kind of inversed as pack prices have continuously gone up. Ultimately, the question now being, Eli, does that mean that you're saying it's worth investing in single packs as a whole? My answer is yes and no. And the reason why I'm saying my answer is yes or no is because we had this conversation about a year ago with Cosmic Eclipse, where people said, Eli, do you think it's worth picking up Cosmic Eclipse packs? I said, yes, it's Cosmic Eclipse. Pack prices are going to go up regardless, because it is deflationary. It is Cosmic Eclipse. People are going to enjoy it. However, pack prices have gone from $9 to $12. Sure, it's about a 30% increase. But if you look at the price from the booster box at the time, it was roughly around $400. You're now seeing the price of booster boxes for the Cosmic Eclipse go to around $650. from a percentage perspective, you say 400, 650, that's roughly around a 40% increase. So 39% actually, if you're being totally exact. So to be fair, you would have made 33% versus 39%. Booster boxes would have yielded you more. But if you had still said, hey, I'm going to pick up these, single packs, and you're picking them up at that $9 price point, you still made a really good percentage yield. So at the end of the day, yeah, you're totally able to pick up singles. However, hindsight, you always have to, once again, be very cautious when going in and looking, because examples such as Chilling Reign, examples such as Fusion Strike, examples such as Battle Styles, sometimes you're going to have instances, depending upon what's going on in the market, where it's going to be a lot more readily available in alternative product. And for that reason, the price disparity is going to be a lot more drastically different compared to one another. What do I more or less mean by that? Once again, use this example, just kind of reiterating myself. Lost Origin, Astral Radiance, Silver Tempest all came out around the same time of product scarcity. Obviously, going with Silver Tempest as the newest set, it has seen the most product scarcity. Astral Radiance has seen the least. And because of that, you've seen that kind of drastic shift where prices for each item booster box, I should say, has gone up in their own kind of time frame. And now you're seeing that come to fruition with the packs versus all the other items I listed, Chilling Reign, Fusion. They did so in a different manner because when they all got their prints, obviously that suppressed the price for the longest time when it came to the booster boxes. However, the actual price per pack for themselves, although they had gone down quite drastically, you saw a lot more of a rebound in price for single packs a lot faster than you did for booster boxes, which were printed more and then of course took longer to then go up in value. So ultimately, at the end of the day, there's an argument to be made that you can pick up loose packs and still get a return sometimes greater than booster boxes. You have to take shipping into account when seeing and comparing how many you're selling off at once and whether it's going to make sense for you. But ultimately, when we're looking at opportunities in the market and we're saying to ourselves, in the future, we're looking back on history and saying, how can we use this to make predictions for opportunities to come? I think what we're seeing right now is, precedents of, hey guys, there's a real opportunity to actually be able to make money off of loose packs, especially while they're continuously popping up or increasing in value. Now, is that me saying you should go out and pick them up? As I've said before in my previous video on Monday, I don't think there's any sealed product worth picking up at this moment in time. However, it's still a point of note that I think is worth having a discussion about, because there's always this conversation being had. Which is better, Elite Trainer boxes or booster boxes in terms of percentage return? You don't really hear that conversation with build and battles because we've already broken it down, and build and battles are just not the best investment. However, you don't really hear that conversation a ton when it comes to ultra modern single packs, because you don't typically tend to see as much of a premium as it was previously before in base set and so on and so forth, since there was such a difference in being able to weigh your packs versus ultra model. Yes, I know there are some sets you can weigh in ultra modern. I will digress with that because I don't think you're seeing people on eBay as much as you are with older vintage packs listing ultra modern weighted. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, but I feel like there's a lot more of a nuance to that with vintage compared to ultra modern. But hopefully you guys found this video informative. Hopefully you guys took interest out of this, and it'll allow you to make decisions in the future, whether that be to monitor single packs more, or just kind of take a look back on if you were one of those people that did pick up cosmic loose packs and to see now what it's worth, and congratulations, you made some money on it. But as the market continuously grows, we all know what's going to happen. Everything's continuing to go up, but at least we can see that there's certain marginal percentage differences in some of the products when we compare booster boxes to loose packs. But that is all for today's video. As always, you want to enter into our weekly giveaways. Make sure to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And lastly, if you want to be a part of the community, check out the links down in the description below to follow us on any of our socials, or I highly recommend you join our Discord to be a part of the awesome community of like-minded individuals. But that is all for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Until then, I will see you all on Friday. Peace.